Today's date is June 19th, 2020. Friday, the time is approximately 7:16 p.m. I'm currently on about 3 hours and 32 minutes on my Sony digital voice recorder. I also have another cell phone recording, a Q6 cell phone recording right now. The source of this phone is suspicious and questionable, and I suspect it could be linked to ongoing conspiracies to commit murder on me and my family members. But I have it on. It's on though. I'm using this phone because I can download the videos to my YouTube, and should be my phone only, no one else. This is also to advise there is no powers of attorney over me whatsoever. I'm not a police or government agent. I have no girlfriend or boyfriend for that matter. I'm not gay. I'm not bisexual. Never have been. Never will be. Um, there's also no family assistance. No one is helping me. No one's giving me any information. There's absolutely none of that, and I think obviously that's what's going on. This videos are being made because of a letter that I received from my brother yesterday. My brother had recently, on May 24th, been subject to a conspiracy and attempt to commit murder on him. He was stabbed apparently 23 times. They apparently tried to paralyze him. Before I go any further, based on that, I also want to address this to the concern of RCMP Brenda Lucki, Commissioner, the Attorney General of Canada, David Ledney, and our Attorney General, Cliff Cole. But I'm going to start a new recording because I've done this a few times where I kept starting over the recordings. So I'm going to start a new recording right now. So I'm going to save my breath, and I'll stop this one right now. And then I'm going to start a new one. Today's date is June 19th, 2020, Friday. The time is approximately 7:19 p.m. Just had started a new recorder. I just explained it, so I won't go into it that much. The purpose of this video and the audio recording that I just started is to show it an inventory of my documentation, original documents, and allegations and the evidence I have against the governments within Canada, Manitoba, the police, and RCMP and things like that. Organized crime, gangs, things like that. This is also to say I have another cell phone, or I already did that. And I'm also going to do a quick inventory walkthrough of my house to show that ever since the May 9th, 2020 incident with 5 to 6-year-old Pantless Darius, I'm left to believe that I'm being left in this area where there's high-level human traffickers, possibly organized crime, people from Aboriginal reserves, you name it, possibly here trying to set me up for a serious crime on a child, such as a sexual assault, and in the circumstances, I also think murder. So I'm going to just show that since that incident that I've taken the time, even previous to this, I've had other concerns, that I've taken the time to seal off my residence the best I can. And there's crazy glue under all the tape, so I would know, or should know that, or notice that if it was removed, that should be able to notice that there's any tamperings. So, and I secured my room, same with under my bed, under the desk. It's all secure, and I don't utilize the living room whatsoever. I use the kitchen, maybe the washroom for whatever its values. There's no lights. The only thing that works in this residence are light fixture, or the light plugs and the light fixtures. Lamps and stuff that I have, extension cords. It's been like this since the passing of my mother, since October. The landlord has sent a guy here by the name of Stefan. He fixed the electricity box, kept the power on the house going, but not to really fix the specific problems of the residents. So there's no use. I've also sealed up the living room right here with the blanket and duct tape and crazy glue, and that's to show that I don't go anywhere, and I would know if someone snuck in here, or should be. The washroom's completely dark right now. Again, I'd have to bring in a separate extension cord, but it's pretty nasty, but whatever. I've been to jail. I only use the shower, use the washroom. The kitchen, this is the sink. And the sink has been broken. I haven't been able to do dishes. I won't wash them, obviously. I don't have no need to at this point. I've also nailed shut the windows in the kitchen, the door as well. I put crazy glue to seal it right there. And this is because I'm also concerned that they might say I might sneak off and or I might have snuck off and harmed someone or a child or or that I was super smart and I fooled everyone. Like I think the Darius incident was designed to say that I was super violent, that no one would have seen it coming, and so I'm concerned. High level human trafficking, police corruption, things like that, right? So, and this is also to say, even though I have no sink, I've only pretty well eat much chips and eggs, and sometimes I'll go get something else. But since that time, I've kind of been on full tilt trying to get my case together, get out of here reasonably, right? So since October, many months, over half a year, the landlord has not fixed anything, and since COVID-19, I haven't paid rent really. So in the circumstances that I only need the bare minimum to do what I have to do, I'm not complaining because I haven't paid him in many months. But since I'm alleging that he's most likely associated to the harassment, and I'll be providing a better statement on that later. So I'm just going to show a quick inventory. This is for my family because my family is taking the stance that I'm mentally ill. They won't say specifically that but my brother doesn't make anything mentioning about a stabbing, nothing like that. I feel bad because there's, it's a horrible thing to go through. Oh, I forgot to bring my recorder there. So this is the show. I put my inventory section. These are most of all the original documents. Those are my notebooks right there, my actual hand-printed notebooks. There's a lot, and I got held back a year. Like that should be probably doubled or tripled by now, but I've been getting harassed through, my opinion, laser harassment and other things, a lot of stuff, and I'm being held back by far, but we'll see where this goes. So the black table right here, this is evidence against the Manitoba Justice Department, including the Winnipeg Law Courts building, the actual Justice Department, the division downtown, corrections, the Winnipeg Remand Center, courts division, judicial, you name it. I have a lot of evidence against these institutions. This would also include the Law Society of Manitoba right here. I have a pretty substantial case against the director, but I'm going to be resubmitting. So it goes all over. All the legal system here is being subject to my allegations. And this includes, the LIRA File 81, and what that entails is May 13, 2017, I was subject to an illegal arrest and search and seizure, and what I'm alleging is this was a conspiracy to fabricate evidence of my observation of what I was wearing, which allegedly gave him somewhat of a justification to pull me over, and they fabricated the evidence as a conspiracy, and it's to say I'm mentally ill, and I would say this would be to probably commit fraud. I don't know. But I have been making thorough complaints since that, almost 3 years. And I had signatures of assistant deputy ministers and associate deputy ministers from Manitoba Justice giving me the records. See the original site, that's Scott Cody, that's the current one right now. He also used to be a RCMP commissioner here. And another one would be a Greg Graceffo. I have several Greg Graceffos from when he was the commissioner, and they're responsible. These men are responsible for the policing service here in Canada, or the province of Manitoba. My allegations had started with the Winnipeg Police, have made it all the way to the Winnipeg Police Board, the Manitoba government, City Hall, the RCMP, and as of Ottawa. Proving that would be this form right here. And this is all the signatures of the Justice Assistant Ministers. There's another one right there. And this proves they're in possession of my allegations, the Justice Department and Justice Ministry. And same with the Canadian government, right here. So I sent an email. And the reason I asked for these email records is because this proves that they're actually in possession of my allegations. So this proves they're aware of it. So the May 13th conspiracy incident, LIRA File 81, This is like even right here. It went all the way to the Law Society to the Chief Judge, Margaret Weed. She's also implicated in this case. Most recently would be the Judiciary Inquiry Board from Sandy Kokowski. Well, not her. She just forwarded it. But the judge, judges and whoever may sat on it, they're all going to be implicated in as the accessories, helping the offenders get away with the things that I'm alleging, including Chief Danny Smythe. There's about 30 offenders, corruption offenders, associated to that incident that have been acting as an accessory or participating in a conspiracy later on. So my evidence, it's the police disclosure, the signatures of the ministers, the police notes. It's slam dunk evidence. It's undisputable. It's in their own handprinting. So I went all the way to the federal government that knows about the allegations. I didn't ask him to. Well, I did ask him to take action, and former Deputy Prime Minister Ralph Goodale sent me a letter, but they never sent me the original one. They refused to. So, but my allegations are provable in that case. It's a kidnapping because they had no justification to do that to me that day, and it resulted in them since then identifying me as mentally ill. And then there's a lot of other corruption involved in that case as well. But that's the main one, and that's what one of them that implicates judges, ministers of justice, or assistants anyway, the police board, the police chief. It implicates a lot of people. The ombudsman. It implicates the government, the Manitoba government, and government corruption. So I'm asking for the Attorney General to have considered me for witness protection because I'm making several laying of information on that respect. In respect to my brother Chris, he sent out a letter. I forgot the exact date. Yesterday I received it. But my brother's asking me to go get myself some help because I talk about government conspiracies and against me and things like that. Well, it's true. I can prove the actual criminal offenses and the offenders, right? But my brother is in the opinion that he's asked me to go get help several times, and I have. And I have went to the St. Boniface Health Hospital. I went to the HSC. I still call a HSC nurse. I still, Chantel, sometimes I'll leave a message with Zimmer or even an email. I talk to Gary Fisher every once in a while, and we're intending, I intend on seeing him, right? That's on a different basis. My brother he's been through an event, another attempted murder, and I feel bad for him, obviously. But his only intent and prerogative is to badger me about my mental health, and that's why I haven't spoken to him. Braden knows that I get really upset about my mental health, and it seems like because when I spoke to Crystal Linsky, first thing she was bugging me about was about this. It was about how I was treating people, my mental health, and I have it all recorded. And it seemed like she was trying to aggravate me, trying to make me look bad, and Chris right away is on the same thing. Tyler, Kane. So I have concern there's a possible fraud going on here. So I'm just concerned that my brother didn't even bring up that he was stabbed or if he was okay. Just he doesn't want me talking about any of this stuff. Now I have reason to believe that Sherry and people associated to Sherry are committing major fraud on my allegations, and that he doesn't want to talk about it because I don't know, but the video is made for him anyways, with the intent of him knowing about this video. And this is to show my brother. The last nurse that signed anything in the hospital for me would have been a nurse Amanda at the St. Boniface Hospital. And I suspect, I won't say much, but this is my case against the hospital, against the Health Science Center, the HSC, the Winnipeg Regional Health Authority. I have signatures, and I think that may be Lori Dawson's signature. Just to be on, I have a few other signatures from Lori's that look the same, so I'm concerned that may be Lori Dawson's signature. That's the first time I said anything. I've kept all the signature speculations to myself, but when I go through the documents, there's thousands of pages here. You're going to see that a lot of the signatures are forged, and they're coming from Susan or Gwen, Sherry, or an S. Sherry used to sign the name of Susan and Gwen, whatever the reason was, and I know that about her. And the signatures kind of look like that, so I'm concerned that it may be Sherry and some other people, and my brother to brush me off and not talk to me, and not, when I can prove the stuff that I'm, I sometimes I wonder if my brother is in on if he would be in on a fraud, or if he's just really that gullible and doesn't want to talk to me. You know, I don't know what the circumstances are exactly, right? But it concerns me again, right? So that's against the hospital, and they're implicated in this too for fabricating evidence and intimidation. And to be sure to show that my brother understands completely, like this is my conspiracy complaint against Tyler and Sherry right here, and his lawyer. So in the next few days, I'll be making a conspiracy to fabricate evidence and intimidation by Tyler and Sherry and the justice involved. And I have my evidence on recording. They admitted to it. They denied it. I spoke to the police over a period of several months, or I tried to contact them. Those are my hand-printed transcripts of the phone conversations with the police chief, you name it, emails of described incidents, police reports. I'm able to thoroughly prove a case of a conspiracy among Tyler and Sherry. Plus, there's other relating issues that I won't get into. And that's the Mental Health Act form that they had identified me as mentally ill for, is through these allegations right here. I can't find the immediate forms right away. But yeah, so the allegations, and anyone that's saying I'm mentally ill or trying to push that allegation by trying to intimidate or harass me or even aggravate me and continuously saying I'm mentally ill or that I'm violent and things like that, I'm going to be using that as a conspiracy for intimidation or, you know, an accessory. I don't know. I'm not sure. But, you know, I've been through a lot here, and they won't even give me a chance to even look at the things that I'm doing or the things that I'm able to prove. Nothing. They just want to say I'm mentally ill. So, and that comes from Sherry and Tyler and Justice Jaquette in the courthouse. So I'm going to make sure that they get charged with conspiracy for this because I'm able to prove it. Plus government frauds on that file as well. And this is it right here. These are the two main bulks of evidence I have against Tyler and Sherry, and supporting evidence for an allegation of conspiracy to fabricate evidence, intimidation. And they might even be charged with accessory to organized crime because they tried to prevent me from reporting the April 14th Stony Mountain incident. So this is also has to do with the incident of Joe Ducharme. See, there's a Gwen signature there. This has to do with February 9th, 2016 incident at Stony with the government asset misappropriation of Trish Reardon. This incident leads to the Winnipeg Remand Center incident of Brendan Severate in March of 2016. It was a self-defense incident, and I ended up being a part of it anyway, causing some serious harm to Brendan Severate. During a self-defense, I was sent to the remand center from the federal penitentiary, and they tried to have me jump to open my doors early and tried to have people come, instigate for people to come in my cell to assault me, and I ended up defending myself, and people ended up sticking up for me, so it was a bit of a hectic day that day. On that case, also there's judicial corruption involved in the allegations that sent me there. I'm able to prove a government conspiracy that day with Stony Mountain and the courthouse. They withheld my statutory release to bring me there that day to commit intimidation and charge me with uttering threats. So, and I won't spend too much time talking about that. So that's another major case. And, you know, so there's that. Against the Canadian government, speaking to the Canadian government's case here, there's also this one right here. This will has to do with the Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and the Stony Mountain April 14th, 2014 case. I'm going to stop this video because I don't want to make it too long, and I'm going to start a second one. So I identified those parts, and I'll do this. I'll go on to the Canadian government, and then I'll go on to what I have against the Canadian government. And this is all, and the Canadian government, City of Winnipeg. And this is what's going for Lira into the Attorney General right away Monday. So I have a lot going on, and I'll make a second video, and I'll conclude this one at this point in time. Oh, I better show my recorder.